guests with me. My guest today, actually, you know what? I'm going to hide my guest. We're going to start this over, actually. I'm going to stop this and we're going to, no, actually, we're not going to start over. I'm not going to start over. I'm finna hide you. I'm taking you away. Hold on. All right. This is a live feed, so that's just what you're gonna get. Welcome to Inside Abode, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? Before I want to get into our guest today, I'm going to tell you to, you know, hit subscribe to the email, follow Inside Abode, follow us on Spotify, watch us on Spotify, watch us on Apple Podcasts, watch it on YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube. Things happen when you go live, and that's why I like it. It's fun, and just go to windermereabode.com. Check us out. And if you want help with buying or selling your home, cool, hit us up. Or if you just want to know like what's going on in the market, hit us up. Listen to the podcast. Or if you want to just see cool people and get some dope vibes, come through anyway and say what's up. So anyway, my guest today, who was already on this, already on the screen before I had to take her off, she's been in real estate for 11 years. And she's been with Abode for 5 years. And she's moved from Tacoma to Gig Harbor and back to Tacoma with her husband and kids and dogs. And then she has Aura. And she's also responsible. And I say Aura, I say she's responsible for the best laugh/cackle this side of the Snoqualmie Pass. This person I'm talking about is Holly Tacker, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Holly?
I'm good. That was a beautiful intro. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, good. Way to start
Yeah.
it
So
off.
how you doing? Tell us more
I'm
about
good.
yourself. Tell the people.
Um,
Because this is your first podcast that you've ever been
this
on
is
here
it.
before. So this is
I
a
know.
monumental, yeah, this is big for you,
Thanks for having
for
me.
all of us.
No, so you summed it up beautifully, really. Tacoma girl, moved to the harbor, back to Tacoma. We feel like both places are home, but this is just where we need to be right now. And um, selling real estate, gosh, I started in 2014 and I have a couple of kids that are way taller than me these days. And this is it. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Best dog
That's
named Lucy.
a dog named Lucy. Yeah. Lucy's
Yeah,
cute.
she's dreamy. So,
She's cute. And you also, what I did leave out is you have like the best home in Tacoma on the West Slope, the
you're
best
really nice.
remodel for sure.
Thanks. It
And
was definitely
you,
a labor of love.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And the person that did the remodel is in the same house.
Yes, I do live with my contractor.
Oh, wow. Okay. And he goes by the name. We never say his just one name. We have to say both names.
His name is
His
Jeff
name,
Tacker.
his name is Jeff Tacker. It's not Jeff. It's Jeff Tacker. So
Correct.
that's
Correct.
so.
Someone was asking me about that today, actually, when I was in the
Oh,
office
really? Like
earlier.
why?
And
Like
they're
why
like,
you ask? Why you called him
Jeff
that?
Tacker. And I think I realized why. Because when we first met, we worked together a long, long time ago. And he
Uh,
was the fourth Jeff to work there at the same time.
oh,
So I think I just had to say his first and last name. So he knew I was talking to him.
that's funny. Yeah, I always wondered that, and then I was just like, well, I guess that's his name. So then I just started calling him Jeff Tacker. And I was like, well, that's what it is.
I
Um,
think we keep it going.
oh, you know what else I didn't mention? That
What?
you are you're the location for the Abode annual holiday party for 2 years
Oh,
in a
yeah.
row. Like
Yes.
those are pretty epic parties that we've had there. They're so fun. Like,
They're
yeah, I
so
don't know.
fun.
They're
It's
so fun.
it's literally the essence of being at Abode, just wrapped into one night. But it's
So,
it's so fun to have everybody under one roof, and
yeah.
I don't even think we talk work.
No, no, not
We
at
don't even talk
all.
real estate.
It's so it is so funny. Oh
It's
man,
really fun.
yeah, I have to like almost ramp myself up for it because it's the vibes are elite. Like it's definitely there's so much funny stuff happening that I just start laughing at
You,
everything.
I think you do it
Yeah.
best. You stand back and just take it all in
Mm-hmm.
and different, because there's about 17 different things happening at one
Yeah,
time, and
for sure.
conversations, and somebody's dancing, somebody's singing. Yeah, it's
For
great.
sure.
We have a
It's
good
funny.
time.
Um, All right. So the people tuned in to talk or hear about 2025 negotiation strategies for the spring real estate market today. So, um, and we have some things to show them. And you've been in this for a while and you've been through, like a market where it was thriving. And then we went through obviously 2020 and 2021 and 22. So what are some things that you think that people can do, or buyers or sellers, what do you think they should know? Like, what are some things that, and you can start anywhere and we'll just start talking
Yeah.
about it,
So
chatting.
I think if you're a buyer right now in 2025, chances are you've been doing this for a while. It's not just that you just jumped into the real estate market, right? Because I think some people have been waiting it out, trying to hope for some better interest rates, things like that,
Hmm.
but it feels like we are where we are, and
Yeah.
now we need a home. So there's a couple key things I would say as far as like what is really important, at least for me when I'm talking with my clients, is number one, to have a realtor that you work with really well and you can
Hmm.
communicate with really well, and that is an expert in their area. But also, when they're an expert in their area, that you're actually looking to buy a house. They also have the opportunity to know a lot of the other agents and possibly, the listing agent. And
Hmm.
um, it's really important to have a great rapport with all the agents in the area so that when you are bringing an offer in, you can trust that your agent is like working in your best interest and speaking all the great things, and just doing their best to go ahead and get that offer of yours seen and paid attention to, and obviously accepted. So
Yeah. Actually, I was talking about that with Colleen the other, I think yesterday or the day before that, about um, networking with agents. I feel like sometimes agents forget to network with other agents, because eventually you're going to be on the other side of that cross, and I think there's so much value in that, and value for your clients. That
yeah,
networking aspect of, are you even friends with people in the industry in your local area? So to your point, like, how has that how have you seen that play out for you? I mean, obviously you're a likable person, like we
oh,
talked about. You have the
thanks.
laugh and the aura and all of that stuff. But like,
Sure.
how has has that helped you in some situations? Like you were just talking about how it's important.
It has. I for sure. I mean, it just depends. I love seeing a cross agent on the other side that I do have a relationship with, or we've met, and it's because it's helpful, and it's always helpful whether you're on the buy side or the selling side. You're listing or you're buying, but you see an agent on the other side that and you understand they do a good business, and you know
Hmm.
that they are going to do their job, because honestly, we all need each other in this
Yeah.
business. It's not done with just one. It's not just, if we can work together and make that happen and as smoothly as possible, that's what's best for both of our clients. And
Right.
so I have heard a time or two or more, like when I told my client that you were the agent, like I told them that you were great to work with, and this is a way to, get to the finish line. So
Yeah.
it's been really helpful. And it's been, as a listing agent also, when I see somebody else's name that I know, or, have worked with before, or just know from being out and networking and doing, that
Yeah.
they are serious about their business and helping their clients and get to the finish line there.
Yeah. And I think I want to, and the reason why I asked that is to clarify, like, because people might think that we're talking about, like, I'm not, and I hate saying the word, like collusion or something like that. And we're not talking
Yeah, yeah.
about that. We're just saying like the other person is professional. They do this. We know that they're going to represent their client in their best interest as you are. Like, it's not about that. It's about, oh, I know I'm working across a professional on the other side, or we have a
Exactly.
relationship. So we have a working relationship with someone. It's no different than any job where you're like, if you have a working relationship with someone, it's probably going to go smoother than if you don't have any dynamic or relationship and you're just coming in cold, right? I
I
mean,
Yeah, and I find that, at least personally, I find that, when I have somewhat of a relationship of the other agent with the other agent, the communication's just that much better. And
that's a big one.
and
Yeah.
when we're able to like pick up the phone and say, hey, even if it's not something we want to make a phone call about, right? It's
Yeah.
more along the lines of like, hey, I kind of have a hard call to make. Are you got a minute? And you can walk through it and work through it together.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, it doesn't get your offer accepted if I'm buddies with the listing agent, but if I'm buddies with, if I work well with the other agent or we know each other and you have the best offer, then,
Yeah.
that's just the start of like what you want to try and kind of facilitate if you can for your clients is just having great working relationships with everyone in the business.
Yeah. Um, so to that point, so that's number one. You
Yeah.
want to know, obviously working with a realtor that has good relationships. We talked about
And
like
knows the
offers
area.
and knows the area. Yes,
Yeah.
knows the area for sure. And then like in terms of the actual negotiation itself, like we are looking at this offer strategies to win sheet. So I'm going to bring this up real quick.
Okay, great.
Um, and let me see, let me bring this up here. So we were talking about this. Can you see this?
I see it.
All right. So this is what we were talking about before. So like different offer like strategies to win or offer strategies that you can utilize with your offer. Like if you're a buyer's agent or if you're a buyer, just knowing like what are some of the things that we can be doing within the contract to potentially help our cause here. You have price here, you have financing, inspection, and within all of these, obviously, there's things within those you can do. But like then you have the appraisal, you have the seller expenses, and then the time. Like is it going to close in 30 days, 45 days, contingent offer, whatever. What are or do any of these stand out to you, or any of them that you like to use more than others, or anything like that?
To be honest, I think I take into consideration each one of these categories when putting together an offer for my
Mm-hmm.
buyers. The pricing is going to be, first of all, we have to have real conversations with each other as far as like, I love this house, but I'm not willing to go above X, right? Like
Mm,
and then you have to understand like we might not get it if you're not willing to go above. You have a ceiling of where you want to, pay, and so
right.
I think it's really important to understand what that is before you go in. We try to think about those things with our mind, our head, not our hearts, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we love it, it's but if it takes us over and above. And then financing, I would just say specifically on the financing, I mean, we can afford it however we can afford it. My clients
Mm-hmm.
can, not everyone can put 20% down. 5% is very normal. We can still buy a house at 3.5%, right? A
Right.
down payment. But probably most important with that is just going to be having, if you are financing this deal, you really want to have some of the best on your team, and that includes your lender. You want to
Mm,
have somebody
yeah.
that's local. You want to have somebody that is knowledgeable and has a great reputation in this business. And so those things are important too.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
What about inspections? Like we were talking about that before, and you had a
Inspections
lot to
are
say about that.
really important, Dave Jones.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well,
Tell me
here's the
why.
thing. I never want to ever, I do not ever suggest that my clients should not have an inspection or waive the inspection.
Okay.
There's been times where my clients have insisted that they do because that may have been the only way they felt they could be competitive. But there's other ways, sometimes the seller has done a seller procured inspection. At least
Mm-hmm.
have had somebody's eyes on it and you can go through that and ask some questions.
Okay.
I I don't love them, but because I don't want you to have to do it too many times, but sometimes as a buyer, you can do a pre-inspection. Like if you can
Mm.
get in there and do an inspection with your own inspector, somebody that you trust and want to have their eyes on it, then I think that's great so that we can get in there before you even make the offer. The
Yeah.
downfall on that one is just that you have to pay for it prior to, and that's not always fun, especially if it's a couple of offers in.
Okay.
Um, and then there's also
Do you want me to
just your
bring that
good
back
old
up?
fashioned, what?
Oh, sorry. I took it down. I wasn't sure if you wanted me to
That's fine.
put that back up.
I was just gonna say, then there's your good old fashioned inspection contingency that, to make it competitive, you can shorten that. You could, the default I think is 10 days. I don't remember the last time I saw a 10-day inspection on any
Mm.
contract, but if it's been sitting long enough, it gives you 10 days to get it done.
Right.
But I think to be competitive, shortening that to the shortest period of time, if you're going, if you're competing for this house, shorten it as much as possible, and don't forget to do your sewer scope or your septic scope while you're in there too.
And conversely, so in this market, there might be something sitting for a long time, maybe 30 days, like, I'm sorry, like 60 days or 50
Yes.
days or whatever, like, do you recommend that that buyer take all 10 days and potentially even extend if they see something? Have you ever been in a situation where you have to extend that inspection period, and can
Yes.
you?
Absolutely. So
Okay.
in the contract, if an inspection contingency is accepted, then you automatically, you have a certain amount of days that you have set. Let's say a 5-day inspection or a 3-day
Mm-hmm.
inspection. And you have to get your inspector in there. But if your inspector finds something that, you know, they're not an expert in all areas. They're an expert at looking at all things and finding as many red flags as possible. Like that's their
Mm-hmm.
job. But if they're like, hey, this roof looks like it is at the end of its life, or there's something happening with the foundation, um, once you have those, once you have that, then you have the right to have an additional inspection days if you had put that into your contract.
Okay. Okay. No,
And
that's
so,
really good.
yeah, it's really important. That way you have a full scope so you don't know, you're not jumping in there with your eyes shut.
Mm-hmm. Uh, so okay, so we've run down. So realtor needs to, like, well, not needs to, but you want to choose a realtor that knows or has like some relationships in the area, knows the local market. And we walked through some negotiation strategies, showed that. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that we missed on that, or that we haven't talked about yet?
So, I mean, there's a couple other things. Like if we're writing an offer and we want to be competitive, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
You saw,
just strategies. Yeah.
there's a couple other things you can do, right? Like you can, maybe you don't want to show all of your eggs in your basket. Is that even a thing? You don't want to say like, yes, I'll give you every last dollar I have, but maybe you're interested in doing an escalation clause in there where one time it was explained to me like the eBay clause, right?
Mm.
You set your limit
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and you'll go up in increments, but you won't go past that,
Yep.
to try and compete with people. And I think there's some ways to do that you want to try and not do it the same way that every other agent is going to do it. Sometimes
Okay.
that means more money, sometimes that means odd numbers, um, just so that you can at least not come in and understand that if you beat somebody by $100, I don't know that that's really going to be something that tips them your way. But so make it a substantial amount that makes them like, yes, I will
Yeah.
overlook something else for this dollar amount.
Okay. And so I think this is a good. So we were looking at some data for
Yeah.
from Northwest MLS on like the amount of escalations and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to bring that up. And you said that this would be good for, not you said, but excuse me. I feel like this would be good for sellers to know going in. I don't know, like just having access to this data to know like what they should accept or when they should accept, or whether, what they, I don't know, just to know where you're kind of at. I don't know. Let me
I
see. I'm
mean,
going to bring this up.
sometimes you can't help as a seller. Like, am I taking the first thing? Is there better out there? Like, obviously it's your biggest investment, right? You want your biggest return on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it's helpful to have this information that you're pulling up right here to kind of
Yeah.
understand what to expect from for offers that might be coming in. And it's really helpful for buyers too to know what you're going up against.
Yeah.
So
So
like,
this
yeah,
is
go
from the
ahead.
Northwest MLS, and I want to tell people like what they're looking at before we dive into this,
Okay.
which is the green is today, and the date range today on this is this month. So it is from the 1st of March to the 14th of March. I cannot believe we're at the 14th of March already,
I
by the way.
know.
What is happening?
I don't know where it went or how this
I
happened.
We're in the third month of this year. It's about to be Christmas in like 2 weeks for
Okay,
real.
now you need to stop that.
um, so,
You need to
so
stop right there. Let's not do that.
So this green bar is for today, like literally today. So
The
all the
14th.
homes that are pending right now today, as of the 14th.
Yeah.
And this blue one is the date range. So basically anything that's been under contract or closed in this date range. So something could have closed the 3rd of the month, and that counts in this count right here. So this is today, snapshot of like right now, and then this is like snapshot of the date range of month to date, because that's what I set up here. All right.
Right.
So
See example A.
this is Pierce County. Pierce County says pendings with multiple offers. So let's just focus on the today.
Okay.
And we'll use the backdrop of the blue to see, if it's going trending down or up. So today, 28% of pendings have multiple offers. I don't know what it was the last couple months, but I'm assuming it was lower. That's just my assumption, but I can't. I have to go back and look. That's
I
one
would
thing I
agree.
want on here. I haven't contacted them yet, but it'd be nice to have like year over year or month over month,
Hmm.
you know.
But this
But
is so nice because it's just what we're dealing with right now, but at least maybe
hmm
have it side by side so that it doesn't get too,
yeah, that's
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But I think that's the whole point of this blue one, though. I get what they're thinking though on that. Um,
We're gonna
so
need them to revamp all of this. I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
they've done such a good job with this. So
It looks so
pendings
good.
with an inspection. So 63% of homes under contract today, as of the 14th, have an inspection addendum. So that means that there's what, quick math, 37%
Yep.
that don't have an inspection addendum
Sure.
to, as
I
of
mean, in the
today.
rest of the month, it was just like 31%, right? Like they didn't have an inspection. And that doesn't
Yeah.
mean that the seller didn't do a seller procured inspection. That doesn't mean, I mean, like they could have done some upfront, but this is important to know that some people are waiving that
Yeah.
still.
Well, more people are. That's a downward trend, or more people, or I'm sorry, less people are having an inspection
It'll be interesting to
addendum.
see what happens through the rest of this month.
Yeah, that will be interesting to look at this. I agree. Financing in Pierce County. So you want to break down to like the cities like Tacoma or something? Want to look at that?
I think it's well. Hold on. If we go to Pierce County really quick, just because I mean
Yeah.
that's where we work, and but like so financing addendum. So 83% had a financing addendum the beginning part of this month.
Mm-hmm.
87% of people, when they say there's a finance addendum, they are acquiring a loan of some sort,
Yep.
shape, or form. So only what is that? 23%?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah. No. Well,
don't make
yeah.
me do math.
Yeah, or
The
13.
cash offers are not as many as we've been seeing in previous times, right? Like
Yeah.
cash offers are slowing a little bit in Pierce County.
Yeah. So you have 13% over here for the date range, and then as of today, that's gone down actually 4 percentage points. So, or it's increased, I guess, if you want to, depending on how you want to look at it. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, 17% of
Yeah, this is why we don't
versus
do math in front
13%.
of people.
What's that?
Yeah, and then it's just me trying to do math earlier.
Oh no,
But
it's
then
yeah,
the
all good.
pendings with an escalation is also really telling too, because an escalation is that eBay thing that we were talking about,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where people aren't just given everything that they own. I mean, so there are seven
less.
percent at the beginning of the time, but now there's only 5% that are having to use an escalation clause to win the house.
Yeah, that's a downward trend on that. So that's interesting. But I think when we looked at Gig Harbor, for example, which has a higher price point, I found this to be interesting. Pendings with multiple offers. So over that same time frame, month to date, the 14th, 26%, and then as of snapshot, as of today, right now,
It's been
it's
busy in Gig
up
Harbor.
30%. So like, is Gig Harbor popping off right now? Like, I don't know because I just looked on the tour on Thursday actually, and there was
Uh huh.
there's hella listings. There's like 11 listings or something like that, and I haven't seen that many for a while on the Gig Harbor
Well,
tour.
I think, can I take a second during this time? I think it's important to talk about kind of what's happening. Like, why are we seeing multiple offers on some of them? And why are others sitting on the market for 65 days and no
Mm-hmm.
offers, or what's happening? But I think it's really important to talk about like our buyers. We're, we're really tired of paying over and above for something that we don't love, right? Like my
Mm.
buyers don't want to just fork it all over for something that they're just like, it's fine.
Right.
But if somebody, whoever's listing the house and the sellers have like done all the hard work of getting their house ready and pricing it right and doing all the things that people are like, okay, I can imagine I can imagine this. This is worth it to us. They're not the only ones seeing a really quality property out there that want to jump
Mm-hmm.
on it because they're just kind of tired of looking at what feels like the bottom. If
Mm.
we're not making it appealing to other people, then they're
Yeah.
going to kind of pass on it.
What's
Okay.
so this part is interesting too, where the
Oh,
inspection. So inspections were 11%. Only 11% were not doing inspections over this course of time. But as of this is crazy. Actually, I
This
don't.
is crazy.
I'm actually because that's a pretty big gap. Like, but taking the snapshot of today, it's 69%. That's a 20% gap. Like for inspection denim. So does that mean that with the multiple offers going up 4%,
Hmm.
or at least trending up? I'm not going to say it's up 4% because we don't
Sure.
know. Like it's just kind of
Today it's up.
gray, but it's trending up, and the inspections are trending down. I mean, does that? It'd be interesting to see where we go with this. Honestly, I don't know if this is just a blip or if it's because
Ah,
as of today, like, was it the inventory that just came on? Combination of all? I don't know.
is it the inventory that just came on? Is it that the quality of the inventory that just came on and people
Yeah.
now have to be as competitive as possible because they've been waiting? I think we have a lot of buyers that are waiting for
Hmm.
the right house for them. And so if we have some nice ones that have come on, then it's like we got to go and we got to come
Yeah.
and play,
Yeah.
right? We can't just be like, well, we'll try it and let me, let's see if I can get every single thing I want when the sellers are looking at multiple offers and now they have multiple things to compare your offer to. So
Yeah.
this is where we would need to be as competitive as possible in this market.
Yep. And by the way, people, this is Gig Harbor that we're looking at. So if you're just like tuned in, or you're looking, or you're just listening, we're looking at Gig Harbor's pending offer, or I'm sorry, pendings with multiple offers, pendings with inspection denim, pendings with finance, pendings with escalations.
So
Um,
the escalation
yeah.
addendums also went up, right? So these are people coming and bringing more money than list price. These are
Mm-hmm.
people like it's trending up also. But
Yeah.
what's cool is at least we're not seeing more cash beat out financing
Mm.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. All right. Let's take a look at
That's
Tacoma
helpful.
real quick, and then we'll wrap that up. Tacoma. Let's see.
Same
With that.
dates.
Yep. Same date. So month to date. Sorry, month to date, and let's look at multiple offers. So multiple offers, less multiple offers than the range. Snapshot of today is
Hmm.
30% versus the range being 35%. So trending downward based on just today. I wonder if that'll stay that way.
Oh, I hope so. But if we have some great inventory coming on, I'm guessing not.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Who am I to say? I've just been
Well,
doing this a few years.
no, that what you have to say is relevant because, like, for example, like when I'm looking at it from our standpoint, like I mentioned, like we had 11 listings go on this week, and they're
Right.
cute. Like there's some ones that I'm like, there's
So
no
good.
way this is gonna stay on the market at all. Like because the
I know.
price point is great, it's a cute house, it's like a lot of craftsmen's, and I'm just on all sides of town, East Side craftsmen, Lincoln craftsmen, North End craftsmen, like Dutch colonials, like we got it all. Like, and so
It's a great week.
it is a
It's
great
like
week.
the inventory that's coming on that we're seeing is especially out of our office. But yeah, there's some really great houses coming on. And my guess is those will get multiple offers because they're
Yeah. So I'm,
dialed. They look beautiful
yep.
online, look great in person. Like things are happening and a lot of work is being done by the sellers and their agents.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm going to be interested to follow this, and we'll probably take a look at it next week on Abode Live again.
Abode.
Does anything else on here stick out to you at all?
I mean, there's a lot of homes that are still getting inspections,
Mm-hmm.
whether it was a seller procured inspection was provided or not. I mean, that's a great amount of homes that are getting them. And then you look at the financing, we're at 86%, both through the month, and that's holding.
Mm. Yep.
Um, and this is different than Gig Harbor in the fact that the escalations are trending down by
Mm.
2% as opposed to moving up.
Yeah.
And our multiple offers is trending down. I think that those two kind of go hand in hand on a pretty regular
Yeah.
basis.
Agree. Yeah. So I mean, so to wrap up about Tacoma, I think honestly this might be an opportunity that might be here for right now, but it might go the other direction because even when we talk about like the 11 listings that we have just within our office, we also like I think when I overheard Ann talking to Colleen about her hot sheet and basically like yeah, it's not just us. I think
It's not.
I think we're hitting this spring market right now. That's just
Yeah.
my feeling. I have a lot of feelings.
I
Well,
think
I
it's
guess,
time. People
yeah.
are ready to start coming on. Sometimes our spring market seems to really kick off like late January,
Mm-hmm.
February. Um, but it's definitely moving forward and things are happening. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Well,
Our,
I think that's all good information. I think that people got what they wanted. I hope. And if they had any questions, they can always hit you up, right? Holly Tacker?
absolutely.
Yeah.
F.
Okay.
Holly Tacker.
Okay. Well, we have one last thing. Well, I'll ask you like we can have contact info. We'll have it in the
Okay.
comments. I have one last section before we get out of here. It's
Okay,
called
go
hot
for it.
take. Oh wait, do we have any chats? Oh, I don't see any chats here. It's called hot take. Are you ready for
Okay.
hot take? So you just have to pick one or the other, and some of them I'll phrase what they are, but you have to just pick one or the other. All right, you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So watch a movie or a series.
Series.
Okay, you had to think about that one.
Well, I like them both. It's like, yeah, series.
Okay. Oh, this was a good one. Um, Step on a nail or hit your head on the ledge walking down the stairs.
Oh, I would say I'm gonna have to hit my head. I don't know. I've done that one enough times. I know what's the outcome, so I do not want a nail in my foot. Thanks.
No, stepping on a nail hurts. But also though, like hitting my head on the ledge down the stairs, like I'd almost rather be shot. Like, just shoot me, like, cause that
Well,
that hurts, man. Like,
I mean, I definitely say words that should not come out of my mouth at it's I don't like it. I'm not saying I love a good smack in the forehead on my way down the stairs. No, but I at least know what to expect.
by the way, I'm joking about shooting me. Like, please don't shoot me. Like, I'm
No,
not trying to get shot.
we didn't really think that that was
Okay, yeah.
no.
All right. What's your peanut butter and jelly ratio? 40 to 60 peanut butter, 60 to 40 peanut butter to jelly, like PB and J ratio to jelly
I'm about
ratio.
a 55 to 60% peanut butter and then jelly. And if I can
Okay.
toast it, like grill it, then
Yeah.
it's even that much better. If you can grill that
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly,
That's pretty even. That's good. That's
yeah.
good.
I don't
Um,
like it too gooey.
Too much either way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. House party or go to a concert?
I love them both. House party.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think.
How else
All
will I get to cackle and do all
yeah,
the.
right.
Just kidding.
All right. Last one. Chumbawambas, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Or I'm blue, na na nee, na na. You know that joint? Which one?
Yes.
Like, so
Could you sing both
you
for
can
me? I feel like
only.
this is really the only way to make this happen.
What's that?
I need you to sing them both for
No,
me.
no. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You want me to do that one?
Yeah,
That
if
was
you
like
could.
the anthem back in the day for for some heads. But like, so you can only hear one for the rest of your life. You can't listen to any other song, but you have to listen to that. That's the only song you can listen to for the
And
rest
I
of your
have to
life.
pick from
You have to
those
pick
two.
one. Yeah, you got to pick one. It's the only song you'll ever be like. Any music you listen to is gonna be that song for the rest of your life. Which one
What
do you
was the
pick?
second song again?
Chumbawamba, it's I get knocked down or I get up
Yeah.
again, or you know the one I'm blue da da dee da 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 dee da dee.
Nope, I get knocked back down. I get knocked
Oh
down.
really?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Only,
get knocked down, but I'll get up
yeah.
again. Yeah, that's the jam.
I think that's the one. I think that's my pick for my entire life.
That's funny. That was the anthem. Well, you passed hot take. Good job. So you
All
picked
right, thanks.
Chumbawamba. Yeah, Chumbawamba. That's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Because my ears
Holly
start bleeding.
Tacker is a Chumbawamba fan. Uh,
I feel like that's an unfair statement.
you on you on the pod you on the pod now.
It's fine. This is great. This is never going to go away.
Nope. Rest of your life. All right. So if people want to get in touch with you or want to ask more questions about the spring market or real estate in general, how do they get in touch with you?
We're
What's the
going to
best
go
way?
ahead and Instagram. I'm Holly in the Harbor, and hollyintheharbor.com.
All right. Cool.
All
Well, there you
right.
have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having
Spring.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having on. First podcast ever. hopefully not the
ever.
last. I can't believe you've been here for 5 years and you never jumped on a podcast before.
I
That's
might
crazy.
skate by you on that, but
Yeah, yeah.
no, I'm here for it. I'm
Couldn't get away
ready.
this time. All right. Well, that's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week. Thank you for listening, and hopefully this was informative for you. We got more gems coming next time. Hit that subscribe button. Go watch us on YouTube. Go down the rabbit hole. Watch more. Yeah. With that, peace. We'll see y'all next week. Good job. See, look at that. You're good.
Are we done?
We're done now.
Are we done?
We're done now. You can even
Did
go
I
on
get off?
YouTube. What's that?
Did I get off topic?